doodle that video.
I fucking love
Full of the truth hype. It's
No,
full of
it's
the truth.
I'm just like perplexed. I don't know what to say. Such a good game.
Say you
Such a
agree.
great game.
It was not great.
I
in my
just
opinion. It was not great.
yes, it was. I played it when it came out back in 2007. I played it and I loved it.
Like they told
Damn,
me
this
I
is
had to play
this is really good.
Uncharted 1 through 3, or my mom would die. I'm like, Mama, you gonna die?
I played 1, 2, 3, and 4. Player. I played it.
I played 1 and 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Let's
And they sucked.
watch
1, 2, and
this.
3.
No.
This video.
Jesus.
I watched this thing like about 2 years ago. And boy, this dude hits points where I was like, okay, this dude knows exactly how I felt when I played the game. Uncharted 1, I'm referring to. Uncharted 1,
Look. Oh, beautiful.
This video is over 2 hours long because it looks at 4 different games. I've put breaks in each section so the video can be watched in pieces. There are links in the description.
I think I'm
Each
gonna have to
section is
like
about 15 minutes long.
pause it.
The reason I spend so much time looking at each game is because this is meant to function as both a critical analysis and a watchable plot synopsis. Meaning that even if you've never played these games, I speak in depth enough about the gameplay and story that you should be able to understand everything.
No, you can take it off.
Have a good grasp on what these games are all about after watching this video, which also means I'll be spoiling everything about them. The Uncharted games are a series of PlayStation exclusives that were developed by Naughty Dog. The first was Drake's Fortune that released in 2007, then Among Thieves in 2009, followed by Drake's Deception in 2011 worth mentioning. I believe it's a prequel that's set before Drake's Fortune. The Last of Us was also made by Naughty Dog and came out in 2013. Although it's not part of the Uncharted series, it could be seen as something of a spiritual sequel. By that I mean both games are third-person shooters with cover mechanics that share a lot of features, but they are made drastically different by some relatively small tweaks.
Look at that amazing that is! Oh, that's that Last of Us, but it's still good!
Listen to this carefully.
If the first 3 Uncharted games competed in an Olympic event, then Uncharted 2 and 3 would be left fighting over who gets gold and silver, while Uncharted 1 would be sulking at the bottom with a bronze medal. But there's a vast difference between these two sides. The gold and silver medals are real, while the bronze is more like a painted piece of plastic. That's how sharp the increase in quality is after the first one. I'd go as far as to say that Drake's Fortune isn't even a good game.
Like again, 2007.
Would be outright terrible if it wasn't for the strong introduction it provides for the characters in the series. It's a surreal thing to say about a game that parts of the story save it from being a bad game instead of the gameplay.
No,
now
it's
I know
not.
I can often
No,
come
it's
across
not.
as a lot more negative than I really feel about a game.
What do you say?
Especially in
I couldn't
previous
hear it.
videos like Dragon's Dogma or even Bloodborne or The Witness. So I want to say right now, I'd go as far as to say that Drake's Fortune isn't even a good game. It's comfortably mediocre, and would be outright terrible if it wasn't for the strong introduction it provides for the characters in the series. It's a surreal thing to say about a game, that parts of the story save it from being a waste of time instead of the gameplay. Now I know I can often come across as a lot more negative than I really feel about a game.
That's full of baloney.
Like Dragon's Dogma or even Bloodborne or The Witness. So I want to say right now that I think the other games in this series are good, but also that I'm not exaggerating when I say how much I dislike the first game. I played the demo of it when it first came out, and I was so unimpressed that I didn't get it. It wasn't until after Uncharted 3 came out that I went back and played it, and I'm shocked that such a weak game got a sequel. Of course, I'm glad that it did because Uncharted 2 is such a big improvement, but that in itself is a bit
How is that weak?
The major problems it has are mostly to do with its gameplay.
I can't watch it anymore. I can't.
Shown here in the same way in order to make this video. By that I mean I didn't rush through all of the content, but I didn't inspect every corner of every area either. I went through at a comfortable pace. Uncharted 2 and 3 took me about 9 hours each to complete. The Last of Us took 14, Uncharted 4 took 15. The first game only took 6 hours, and despite this being the shortest of them all, it also has the least amount of variety in its gameplay and setting, and also recycles a lot of its content. First, however, let's look at the story.
Amazing.
Even though it's the strongest part of the game, it has its own mess of issues.
I love it.
Make absolutely no sense, and there are long stretches of time that very little happens. It's still strong, however, because it's carried by its characters.
I will find her. Trust me. How much trouble could one girl be?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Come on.
Good.
Thank you.
We open with a profound quote and a surprisingly smooth transition from a coffin underwater to after it's being pulled onto a boat. The two characters here are the focus of the series, Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher. Drake is the descendant of the famous explorer Francis Drake, who is meant to be dead in the coffin that they just trawled up. Elena is a journalist that has funded Nathan's expedition to find the coffin so that she can record the whole thing and make a documentary out of it. These characters have only just recently met before the game started, and they're still a little awkward with each other.
Back.
Make it sound so dirty.
This awkwardness can also be felt by the player, since the dialogue in these games is saturated with attempts at sarcasm and witty lines, pretty much at every opportunity. Now, I've said in the past that I'm sort of...
That line that he just said is exactly one of the things that I get so irritated in type of games like this.
What he said?
This sarcasm and witty lines. I see that in every action movie. Every single action movie that I watch has these specific things in their freaking movie. And now I'm seeing that shit put into my game. Why? It doesn't add any charm. It does not add any more context to it. It's just... But anyway.
It's good.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Sick and tired of that. It links back to a lot of action movies and TV shows. I'd argue that the closest thing that Uncharted gets to is Firefly, since Nathan is more Captain Reynolds than he is Indiana Jones or Han Solo. Sometimes it even sounds like voice actor Nolan North is trying to emulate Nathan Fillion.
I want to know what 1-9 thinks of Uncharted 1. I want to see what's his opinion.
The hell? It's okay. I'm gonna leave on the wind. What does that mean?
The writing gets better as the series goes on.
Sometimes we need to like. Sometimes
they talk to themselves and move and speak like they're actors rather than actual people.
An anti-aircraft fire? This is so not cool.
This gets better as the game goes on, and I'd say by the second game the problem has vanished completely. Although it's possible that it's simply the player getting used to these characters and their mannerisms. If anything, the first game serves as a great foundation for Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher to have for the rest of the series. This opening is also pretty good in establishing two other things in the game.
Not 2 minutes, just Uncharted 1, this gameplay. Have you played Uncharted 1?
And eventually fighting them with your bare hands. But Nathan's casual reaction to it also clearly shows that this is a usual day for him. Fighting is common for this man.
I'm gonna restart it. And this time we're gonna be in total silence. And when it's done, I'm just gonna put only 30 minutes of this whole entire video. Only 30 minutes.
Yeah, you have it on.
I think that I think it's up to 30 minutes for the Uncharted 1. And then after when we're done, then we will discuss it here. And let me see if what he said is not what you experienced. Period. He said
he just tugs it full. He's tugs full of baloney. So he is.
Far Cry Instinct needs a I gotta replay that game though. I played it once.
I have Far Cry 4. No, Far Cry 5 for PS4.
Let us start this. Or you know what? I'll put captions on as well.
I was gonna say, we should just like, we should just end the stream and then just put it, you screen share on the chat. Cause what if like someone comes in like, yo, what the heck is this? You know, like a random person.
I don't know if it comes, they'll know exactly what I'm doing. I'll let them know. Not a big deal.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This video is over 2 hours long because it looks at 4 different games. I've put breaks in each section so the video can be watched in pieces. There are links in the description. Each section is about 15 minutes long. The reason I spend so much time looking at each game is because this is meant to function as both a critical analysis and a watchable plot synopsis. meaning that even if you've never played these games, I speak in depth enough about the gameplay and story that you should be able to understand everything. You should have a good grasp on what these games are all about after watching this video, which also means I'll be spoiling everything about them. The Uncharted games are a series of PlayStation exclusives that were developed by Naughty Dog. The first was Drake's Fortune that released in 2007, then Among Thieves in 2009, followed by Drake's Deception in 2011. All of them for the PlayStation 3.
It's a
the fourth
good
game in the series just came out, A Thief's End for PlayStation 4.
I don't know.
You should also know that there was another game,
perplexed.
Golden Abyss, that released for the PlayStation Vita. I haven't played that game, so I won't be discussing it, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
Isn't it this?
It's a prequel that's set before Drake's Fortune. The Last of Us was also made by Naughty Dog and came out in 2013. Although it's not part of the Uncharted series, it could be seen as something of a spiritual
Isn't it
sequel.
that or something?
By that I mean both games are third-person shooters with cover mechanics.
I don't get it.
Share
I
a lot of
don't.
features.
I
They
don't.
are made drastically different from each other by some relatively small tweaks. We'll be taking a thorough
I
look
want
at
to
the
start
same
crying
in this
right
video.
now. That's a good game.
If the first 3 Uncharted games competed in an Olympic event, then Uncharted 2 and 3 would be left fighting over who gets gold and silver, while Uncharted 1 would be sulking at the bottom with a bronze medal. But there's a vast difference between these two sides. The gold and silver medals are real, while the bronze is more like a painted piece of plastic. That's how sharp the increase in quality is after the first one. I'd go as far as to say that Drake's Fortune isn't even a good game. It's comfortably mediocre, and would be outright terrible if it wasn't for the strong introduction it provides for the characters in the series. It's a surreal thing to say about a game, that parts of the story save it from being a waste of time instead of the gameplay. Now, I know I can often come across as a lot more negative than I really feel about a game, especially in previous videos like Dragon's Dogma or even Bloodborne or The Witness. So I want to say right now that I think the other games in this series are good, but also that I'm not exaggerating when I say how much I dislike the first game. I played the demo of it when it first came out, and I was so unimpressed that I didn't get it. It wasn't until after Uncharted 3 came out that I went back and played it, and I'm shocked that such a weak game got a sequel. Of course, I'm glad that it did because Uncharted 2 is such a big improvement, but that in itself is a big surprise. The major problems it has are mostly to do with its gameplay and length. I went through all of the 5 games shown here in the same way in order to make this video. By that I mean I didn't rush through all of the content, but I didn't inspect every corner of every area either. I went through at a comfortable pace. Uncharted 2 and 3 took me about 9 hours each to complete. The Last of Us took 14, Uncharted 4 took 15. The first game only took 6 hours, and despite this being the shortest of them all, it also has the least amount of variety in its gameplay and setting, and also recycles a lot of its content. First, however, let's look at the story. Even though it's the strongest part of the game, it has its own mess of issues. Parts of it make absolutely no sense, and there are long stretches of time that very little happens. It's still strong, however, because it's carried by its characters.
I will find her. Trust me. How much trouble could one girl be?
Well, come on!
Thank you.
We open with a profound quote and a surprisingly smooth transition from a coffin underwater to after it's being pulled onto a boat. The two characters here are the focus of the series, Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher. Drake is the descendant of the famous explorer Francis Drake, who is meant to be dead in the coffin that they just trawled up. Elena is a journalist that has funded Nathan's expedition to find the coffin so that she can record the whole thing and make a documentary out of it. These characters have only just recently met before the game started, and they're still a little awkward with each other.
You make it sound so dirty.
This awkwardness can also be felt by the player, since the dialogue in these games is saturated with attempts at sarcasm and witty lines, pretty much at every opportunity. Now, I've said in the past that I'm sort of sick and tired of that. It links back to a lot of action movies and TV shows. I'd argue that the closest thing that Uncharted gets to is Firefly, since Nathan is more Captain Reynolds than he is Indiana Jones or Han Solo. Sometimes it even sounds like voice actor Nolan North is trying to emulate Nathan Fillion in some of his lines.
Desperate times, right? What does that mean?
The hell? It's okay. I believe I'm gonna win. What does that mean?
The writing gets better as the series goes on, and that holds true here. At the beginning, it comes across like the characters are aware that they're in a game. They talk to themselves and move and speak like they're actors rather than actual people.
An anti-aircraft fighter? This is so not cool!
This gets better as the game goes on, and I'd say by the second game the problem has vanished completely, although it's possible that it's simply the player getting used to these characters and their mannerisms. If anything, the first game serves as a great foundation for Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher to have for the rest of the series. This opening is also pretty good in establishing two other things in the games. Pirates attack and you have to fend them off with a pistol and using parts of the boat for cover, and eventually fighting them with your bare hands. But Nathan's casual reaction to it also clearly shows that this is a usual day for him. Fighting is common for this man, and either he's become desensitized to it, or the game is screaming at you that this isn't a story you're meant to take very seriously. Uncharted 2 does something similar with its opening that we'll see when we get to that game. The problem here requires only a short rewind to see. The game opens with that profound quote. Every game in the series does actually, and some of the plot points that happen later leave me wondering if Naughty Dog themselves forgot that they weren't meant to take it seriously either. However, this isn't a problem in the first game, more so the second and third. The final major character in the series shows up at the end of this scene, Victor Sullivan, who is basically an older, grumpier, and occasionally wiser version of Nathan Drake. He's acquired a no-nonsense attitude in his older age, yet he still puts up with a lot of shit from Nathan because they've known each other for so long. The trio escape on his plane and recap the story safely away from the pirates. Francis Drake's coffin was empty because he faked his death. His journal was in there instead, which is full of clues needed to find El Dorado, an ancient lost city of gold. This begins a tradition that continues in every single Uncharted game, including Uncharted 4. There's some secret place full of riches as the end goal. Some long-dead explorer almost found it and failed, but left a lot of clues and a trail to follow. Nathan Drake and friends try to find it while being hunted by another group that also want the treasure. That's the basic skeleton of a plot that's used in all 4 games. The flesh added to it is what's different each time. Sully explains that he's over his head in debt and really needs this treasure hunt to end well this time. The scene then ends with Nathan and Sully dishing Elena. They leave her at the fort and she acts like there's a stage of people watching her.
Hey!
Should have seen that one coming.
The next area is with Nathan and Sully. They walk through a jungle together and speak about some of their old adventures. It's decent enough dialogue and fills in some of the silence as you proceed through the level. This place acts as a second tutorial. There's no shooting just yet, only some climbing and puzzle solving. These add with the other main chunks of content in the series that the Uncharted games cycle through. Combat, shooting or stealth. Exploring, usually climbing walls, ruins, or ledges. Puzzles, we'll get to them in just a second. Set pieces, some sort of unique, lethal situation that you need to play through. And then story, movies that run without player control. Puzzles in Uncharted 1 are no different than the rest of the gameplay on offer here. By that I mean that they're terrible. The climbing isn't much better and has you following the only real path available to you in order to pass a wall or something else. Then you'll be pushing a box or moving a ladder. These parts feel more like filler than outright bad, but then you come to these puzzles that require you to look at your journal, or Francis Drake's notebook in this case. The solutions are already given to you, you just have to follow them. Some of the later puzzles in the game require a little more thought, but they're more about trying to understand the clues in the book rather than looking at the puzzle instead. Here it's about using these shapes in the right order. That's it. That's all this puzzle is. Other puzzles aren't much better, and some of them leave you wondering why they even exist at all. We'll get to them in a little bit. This trek through the ruins ends in failure. There's no lost city of gold. In fact, it looks like someone already beat them to the treasure decades earlier. Regardless, Nathan and Sully push on and find a marooned U-boat. For some reason, Nathan thinks this might be connected to the treasure and wants to investigate. He gives Francis Drake's notebook to Sully before he leaves for absolutely no reason. It's not like he's afraid of getting it wet either, since he was already swimming earlier in this level, but it happens anyway. You do some more complicated climbing to reach the U-boat, which is expanding on some of the experience you've gained climbing through the ruins earlier. This part looks good, and the interior of the submarine is suitably wrecked. Inside, you find out that Nathan's guess was somehow correct. The Germans were also looking for the treasure, because why not? You learn that El Dorado isn't a city at all, but a giant golden statue. You find the information needed to continue the search, but Sully is attacked outside before you have a chance to use it. Nathan knocks over a torpedo on his way out, which will show how much dumb luck the guy will benefit from throughout all the games.
That's probably bad.
Sully is being held captive outside by a villain so forgettable that I had to Google his name in order to write this script. Gabriel Roman. Sully owes Roman a lot of money. He used his latest wild goose chase with Nathan in order to buy some time, but instead made Roman more interested in finding the treasure for himself. Somehow he followed the two of them to this island. He shoots Sully in the chest and kills him. The torpedo that Nathan knocked over explodes and gives him the chance to escape before he could be forced to find the treasure for Roman. You run away and meet Elena a few seconds later, who also followed you both to the island. They quickly reconcile the differences since Sully has just been killed. You fight some of Roman's goons on your way back through the ruins you cleared earlier. The combat is very simple. Hide behind cover, aim when the enemy stops shooting, pop off some headshots and continue on. The sequence ends with you leaving with Elena in her car. Then you're both in a plane flying to the next island, which honestly looks exactly like the same island you were just on a second ago, and that really confused me when I first played. Nathan doesn't seem too torn up about his old friend being dead, and is still cracking jokes and being sarcastic. This could be seen as the continuation of the facade he maintains in order to appear like nothing phases him, And I do know that it's pronounced facade, I just wanted one of you to lose your mind when I mispronounced it right there. Or it could be because Sully isn't really dead, so the writers didn't think to use any time lamenting a character when he comes back later. The plane comes under attack. Nathan and Elena bail a minute or so apart with parachutes and are separated when they land on the island. At this point, the story slows down immensely.
What am I doing?
So this is the start of the terribleness in Uncharted 1. You're stuck on this island and in this environment for the rest of the game. Very quickly you meet some of Roman's goons and you enter into gunfight after gunfight after gunfight. You move from one area with chest-high cover to the next, and it just keeps going with very few breaks for more story or interaction with any other characters. It wouldn't be so bad, except the combat is one of the most dull iterations of third person with cover that I've ever played. All the weapons feel the same. There are some variations on the same handgun and assault rifle, then there are shotguns and sniper rifles. It's standard stuff, and you could make a strong argument that these combat encounters are here just as some filler gameplay sections to act as a break from some of the story sequences. Unfortunately, as is the case at this point in the game, they go on for too long and simply aren't interesting. The other problem I have with them is that precision aiming with a gamepad never feels good to me. Now, I'm not saying that shooters can never work with a gamepad, and I know that some people have played enough console shooters that it can become second nature to them, but Uncharted 1 has bullet sponge enemies that can survive entire clips being unloaded into them. Headshots are the best and most efficient way to get through the game, but aiming with the analog sticks can feel like Nathan is trying to shoot while drunk. A solution here is to tweak the controller sensitivity settings, but this is trading one problem for another. You can make it so the target reticule can move precisely enough to regularly aim properly, but then that aiming is painfully slow. You can either be a drunk turret snapping from target to target, or you can be a tank that should emit those loud beeping noises whenever you start to turn. I should say that the shooting gets better with every game, and The Last of Us has its own changes that I argue work in harmony with these limitations, but it's not something I think could ever be considered good or fun. We'll discuss the shooting a little more in later games. You continue through the jungle and get close to finding Elena. You arrive at this ruined fort and go through one of the first grandiose climbing sections in the series. The camera even zooms out to give you this great look at what you'll be climbing. There's no real danger here. You follow the only true path that's available to you, and that's it. There's nothing else to do. Just follow the handholds and just keep going. Nathan does all of the work for you, and you nudge him in the right direction. There's another section like this before you get into the fort properly, which ends with yet another long, relentless series of gun battles. Like the jungle before it, the game really squeezes all the playtime it can out of this area. Two things happen here that are worth talking about. The first being that this is where the idea behind the game's puzzle/treasure hunt begins to deteriorate. This fort is crumbling apart. You find a locked door with a symbol on it which links back to your book guide. This leads you to a key that was stashed in a nearby tower that's also falling apart that you need to open the door. This was a deliberately placed trial for whoever is seeking out the treasure, yet this door doesn't lead anywhere. It's simply another part of the fort that Roman's goons had no trouble getting to, but you, acrobatic Nathan Drake, had to follow some elaborate trail in order to find the key to get through. Now I know this may seem incredibly nitpicky even for me, but I wouldn't bring it up at all if this didn't set the standard for every single puzzle waiting for us further into the game. The other thing that happens here is that Nathan makes contact with his ancestor, an undiscovered message from Francis Drake. This should be a moment of reverence for our hero, and it almost is, but it's immediately interrupted with yet another fucking gunfight. Like the game is so frightened of letting us go more than a few minutes without either climbing on some ledges or shooting something. Elena is also in this fort. She's filming a lot of the area since she's determined to still make a watchable show out of the expedition. You're almost reunited with her but end up captured instead. The story finally resumes and this part is pretty good. Eddie Raja is your captor and apparently he and Nathan have some history. They taunt each other while Elena is outside playing the hero to Nathan's damsel in distress. Eddie Raja is a less intimidating villain than Roman, but he's definitely more entertaining and interesting.
Should have guessed.
Fascinating document, huh?
When Elena uses a car to rip off the wall of your prison, he chases after you as you drive off. This is one of the action set pieces in the game. You act as a turret on the back of the car that has infinite ammo. You blow up other cars and bikes that are chasing after you. You can also topple a lot of trees that you pass, which is what I found to be the most impressive part of this sequence. It's an okay section which ends with Nathan and Elena risking a deadly fall rather than being captured again by Eddie. Let's pick things up a bit. There's more shooting to do in the following sections, but now Elena is with you. Nathan is someone to speak to, and you move through some of the flooded ruins on the island at a better pace rather than being constantly stuck in the jungle and the fort. It's important to know that Nathan actually wants to give up on the hunt for the treasure at this point. It's Elena that pushes him to continue. She reasons that the way off the island is the next place they need to go to find the treasure anyway, so why don't they do both and see what happens. Nathan agrees and they continue on. There's another vehicle section here that is the worst in the series, the two of them riding on a jet ski. Now this thing handles like you're riding on two cows tied together that hate each other. It might have been okay if you could focus on speed and weave between obstacles, but you have to constantly stop and aim a grenade launcher with Elena in order to clear a path. I suppose in theory you could try to rush past everything in these sequences, but the enemies here also tend to be armed with explosives that can trigger the floating barrels in the water that can kill you in one hit if you set them off. It's very tedious and never feels fun. You arrive at a half-destroyed customs house on the water. Elena wonders aloud if something otherworldly happened to the colony that made everyone disappear and all the buildings flooded. Nathan refuses to believe that anything supernatural could exist. It's a brief setup for later when it turns out that he's wrong.
I'm just saying, something bad happened here. The whole colony doesn't just up and vanish.
Yeah.
You fight through more of Roman's endless henchmen in the building, and we get to see that Elena and Nathan are beginning to rely on each other a little more. She films more of the area, and while zoomed in, discovers that Sully is still alive and is working with Roman on the island.
Hello.
Shortly after this, she loses her camera in a fall, and yet still wants to pursue the treasure even though she's no longer collecting footage for her show. Now that Sully looks to be alive and a traitor, Nathan is convinced to remain on the island, and the two set off together, in another awful jet ski sequence, which has all of the same problems as the previous one. Elena and Nate fight their way to a section of the Lost Colony farther into the island, including a monastery where you're reunited with Sully. This part of the game is one of Uncharted's major flaws. We're surprisingly close to the end here because a lot of what's left in the game involves retreading over this location again and again. You fight your way through this building twice, this wide open courtyard multiple times as well, thanks to waves of enemies that keep spawning from nowhere after you've killed a certain amount of other enemies. The game really wrings out every bit of content it can out of these areas, and since that combat is only average at best, it isn't that enjoyable. This directly links to the puzzles and story in this section. First, however, let's go over the meeting with Sully.
Well, you're looking awfully good for a corpse.
Nathan and Elena rightfully accuse him of switching sides, which, after you learn more about Sully's backstory with Nathan in the next games, is something Nathan should really know better than to do. Regardless, it's somewhat forgivable that all these details wouldn't be planned out yet. It turns out Sully really was shot by Roman, but that Drake's notebook softened the bullet enough that he survived and has been forced into helping Roman find the El Dorado statue ever since. So that's why the game has that really awkward forced moment earlier with Nathan giving Sully the book. I don't like this because, as we established earlier, there was no reason why Nathan would have handed it over, but the real reason I dislike it is because it has such an easy fix. A line from Sully saying, "Hey kid, give me that book before you go stomping in that submarine. If you get yourself killed in there, at least I can follow the book myself without your sorry ass." This shows how much of a scoundrel Sully can be, and I'm really sorry for that horrible impression, and that he cares about the treasure almost as much as he does about Nathan, since he never wanted him to risk going into the sub to begin with. He still has the book to block the shot and the means to string Roman along. Boom, done. It's not so forced anymore. That said, I really like that Sully wasn't a traitor. The series does this more than once actually, with introducing you to a character with some heavy hints that they're going to turn on you, and then they don't and everything is cool. It keeps you guessing for some of the times that surprises do happen, and your suspicions about characters aren't always going to be correct. There's a lot to be gained by subverting expectations, and you can watch my videos on the Tomb Raider series if you want to see a story that does this poorly. You use the book to solve a puzzle in the monastery, which is once again already solved for you, you just have to follow the directions. This acts as the starting point for what I consider to be the most ridiculous part in the game, and perhaps the entire series. This puzzle leads to an underground section which, once again, Roman's men have somehow broken into before you, which leads you to another part of a building that you already explored earlier.
Nate, you read me? Yeah. Sully, I'm just going in circles here.
To the top of a church where you follow clues in order to open a path to a secret hallway. Also, you can look through a window to see a symbol on another building nearby. There are all these really elaborate hints, levers, and mechanisms, all for what amounts to you going in circles and never finding any actual treasure, but just the next hint that you could have easily bypassed if you were given the freedom to explore the area yourself with the rest of the clues in the notebook. It's about here that you eavesdrop on a conversation with Roman and his two main assistants, Eddie Raja and another guy named Navarro. There's some more hints about something supernatural lurking on the island. Roman does the usual evil guy posturing about wanting results no matter the cost. This scene is mostly about introducing you to Navarro and a heavier foreshadowing of the monsters that you'll be fighting soon. The clues eventually lead you to the same room. Sully provides you with a distraction and you murder some more guards on your way there. You open a secret passage to one of the more impressive locations in the game, this maze-like level full of overlapping pathways. It's a decent section that is once again ruined by Roman's people somehow finding an alternative way into the area, even though you just had to jump through so many ridiculous hoops in order to find your own path. It's a section that I think didn't really need any fighting until the end. It could have been a good break from all the combat. Just have it be about the puzzle of finding the correct way forward down here. In any case, Nathan and Elena find where the golden statue should be and discover Francis Drake's corpse instead. This is one of the best moments in the game. Nathan is clearly devastated by this discovery, and not just because the treasure is absent.
It's Drake. He never found it, he just died here.
Learning that his idol had a pathetic end and failed in his search is quite the blow, and it comes coupled with Eddie Raja once again getting the upper hand. It doesn't last long, however, since this is also the grand appearance of the monsters that inhabit the island. You do have to wonder why it took this long for Nathan to encounter them, but it works to set up a twist on combat in a big moment in the story. You're forced to fight alongside Eddie while Elena works on rescuing you. The monsters require different tactics than regular human enemies. They're a lot faster and come at you from all sides. Standing still and firing doesn't work all that well, and that made fighting them awkward until I tried running and gunning instead. This turns some bad combat into something that's a little more okay, and having the freedom of movement while not having to worry about cover, since these monsters don't have guns to chip away at your health while you run around, is a decent change from the rest of the game. It's a shame that it comes so late and is only used a few times. Eddie dies here, and that's one villain down, 2 more to go. You barely escape in time and run from the underground city to a Nazi military base, because apparently remote islands in video games can't exist without some sort of Nazi influence. There's some more climbing here, and the game actually lets you go for more than a few minutes without having to fight something. Your goal is to turn the power back on so you and Elena can escape without having to fight too many of the monsters that chased you out of the previous area. But then you get the power back on and more monsters come swarming out of the walls than just chase you out of the last sequence. It's here that you learn that El Dorado is cursed, which is the reason that the creatures that you've been fighting exist. The curse turns people into these monsters. Nathan, having seen the supernatural monsters himself, now believes in the curse. He knows that he has to stop Roman from taking the statue off the island and rushes back, only to witness Elena being taken by Roman as a hostage, so Nathan won't interfere any longer.
Can you hear me in there?
Loud and clear, jackass.
Oh, no microphone on your end. What a shame.
After a long series of battles, Nathan meets up with Sully and they immediately decide to interfere anyway. You fight your way back to the monastery section and the church that you were in earlier for yet another hidden path.
Holy shit.
You finally get to see the golden statue, which isn't a statue at all. It's a sarcophagus with a cursed corpse inside. Roman is infected with the curse and goes mad.
Watch this.
He's killed, and at this point in the story, Navarro, who has barely been in the game or mentioned at all, becomes the final villain, which really drained a lot of the tension for me, but I can see why some people might like it. Navarro claims that the curse is the real treasure and is worth far more than gold to the right buyer. He begins his escape with both El Dorado and Elena. The monsters attack you and you have to charge forward. Just don't drop in the water because Naughty Dog decided this should be an instant kill for a reason that I don't understand. The sequence always looks a little off and shaky and kind of rushed to me. Navarro is escaping on a helicopter. You ride out with him and cause the crash that you see playing right now, and maybe you can see what I mean. You end up on a ship, which links nicely back to the beginning of the game with the first gunfight you had with Elena. You start off on a boat, you end on a boat. Unfortunately, this is one of the worst final boss battles I've ever seen in a game. Navarro breaks pretty much every single rule that's been established so far, both for you and the enemies. He has a laser sight, which is a mechanic you encounter earlier on that requires rolling away to break the lock on since it's a one-hit kill. Navarro's can't be shaken off. He stays behind cover indefinitely. He never runs out of ammo. If you try to charge him, he'll kill you. If you try to shoot him when he pops out of cover, he'll kill you. Basically, if you try to engage him in any way, he'll kill you. What you're meant to do instead is use cover to hide from his steady attack pattern and wipe out all of his guards. This forces a retreat to the next area where you do it all over again. Now, on the one hand, this can be seen as a good final encounter since it's a sharp focus on all of the cover-based shooting you've been doing throughout the game. And it's against a more powerful enemy that has some of the same skills that you do. But there's no room for any real creativity in this fight. You have to go through the predetermined path that the boss is meant to have. Avoid his shots, kill the guards, rinse and repeat in the next area. Because there's a set ending to all of this that you have to get through. Even here, with Navarro standing out in the open, you can't do a damn thing but follow the predetermined path. Move from cover to cover, closer each time, and then go for a quick time event brawl instead of shooting him. It's like they moved the same thought process behind the climbing sections into a shooting one. There's only one path, only this time there's some trial and error involved in learning what that is, with a bunch of wrong paths that appear reasonable at first. These look like things you should be able to do, but they're still wrong because the game requires this exact set of actions from you. Navarro goes down in the fight, and Nathan goes to Elena without dealing a killing blow. Navarro then, of course, gets back up and threatens to kill both of them with a gun, and then proceeds to stand there doing nothing, while Nathan takes the time to push a helicopter off the boat instead of charging at Navarro to disarm him. Somehow this works, and hey, like I said at the start, as long as you don't take the game seriously, this is all fine. The ending movie also reinforces this. It's surprisingly short for one. Elena and Nathan have some closing remarks, then Sully shows up with some treasure that he magically found somewhere, so that the whole adventure wasn't a total bust. The three of them sail away from the island, and that is it. That's the whole ending. It's so abrupt that it makes me wonder if sequels were always planned for the series. So that's Uncharted 1. I think it suffers a lot from overusing dull combat and stringing puzzles together in strange, arbitrary ways. It's still worth playing to see the beginnings of an otherwise good series of games. We have a few more of them to get through still, and obviously I have a lot more to say about the series handles some things. I'll be jumping back for some examples of Uncharted 1 at least once.
Trash. He's just a hater. It's
and
a good
that
game.
right there
is
the major problem I have with Uncharted.
Just freaking trash. He's just stupid.
See, the thing is,
no.
if you're going to be someone like Indiana Jones, right, and you're looking for treasure, why do you have these set paths that you have to look just to find a treasure? You can explore towns, you can explore the area. It's just here's the, like, if you're climbing, here's a box, you jump or you shimmy through. It's all of it. All you gotta do is nudge your analog stick to whatever, you know, corresponds on your screen, and that's it. Everything is like a predetermined QTE. That is how it is. It's just that you are the actor, right? You're the actor controlling the character. Everything is followed in a specific predetermined action, and that's it. And that's the problem that I have with every Uncharted game, and that's every Uncharted game. But
it's
the
good.
difference
It's
between
good game.
1, 2, 3, 4 is that it gets better.
I'm not understanding why it has had so much ratings if you think it's this bad.
It has so much ratings because it was new within its genre at that time.
It was a good game at that time.
Because a lot of games
now, because it came out back in 2000.
But it's the thing you're not understanding. Many games back in those days,
people liked Uncharted back in
2007.
It was 2007.
Listen.
This is not a game that came out in 2020.
Listen.
It was back in the day.
The difference, the thing is, the reason why Uncharted was so favored.
If I was there back in 2007, I would let you like, oh, it's a good game. I was back in 2007. People think differently over the years. Oh, it's 2019. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, here's the thing that you're not getting. And the reason why people liked the game in 2007 was because it wasn't a lot of games in that specific genre. Every game felt like a game. Sony finally made games that have a more cinematic experience. You don't see that in any games.
People like the game in 2007.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. That is why Uncharted was liked. That was the reason why Uncharted was favored.
Because it was good. People like a lot of people like that game. I'm not understanding why it's this bad.
It's bad because you just
we're talking about back in the day. Talking about back in the day.
Explaining the whole entire mechanics.
Okay, when did that video come out? When did this video come out?
2016, I believe.
That was 2016. Imagine he's saying that back in 2007.
Which
What
he
do you
did.
think?
Which he
What do
did.
you
Did
think
not
he
hear
would
what he
say?
said?
No. What
Did not
do
hear
you
what
think
he
would
said?
say back in
Did you
2007?
not hear what he said?
No.
He said he tried the
Yes.
demo on 2007 and he did not like it and passed the game until he played
Because
Uncharted 3 and then he went
that's
back to
his
1, 2, and 3 because
that's
of how
his
bad it
opinion.
was.
That is his opinion.
Yeah, and that's exactly...
How?
Hold on.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what a true gaming is. Back in 2007.
He knows, Hype. He knows.
No. It's just trash. Full of baloney. Look, this game sold out 28 million copies worldwide. 28 million. And let me see how much of... Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Tomb Raider sold over 11 million. And that game came out in 2013. A game came out 2007. So more than that. More than that. So how the heck you telling me it's not a good game? It's more than a 2 minute I was playing came out 2013, sold 11 million copies. Which a game Uncharted came out 2007, which sold 28 million.
Yeah, man.
Copies
Michael Bay made
worldwide.
over $4 billion
Worldwide.
for this Transformers movie.
So
that don't make him good. Just
how is the thing that you get is good?
That's like saying Twilight's good because it made a lot of money.
Look.
Twilight sucks.
Look, The Witcher, 6 million copies. 6 million copies. The Witcher. And how many people actually buy the damn game? Are you freaking serious? Over 10 million. Look at this. What? So how? What do you think is? Why do you think it's bad? Why? Why is it bad? Look.
All the reasons are explained in that video.
Look.
It's a terrible game.
Look. How is it terrible if we sold more games than the games are actually good?
I don't see their argument. I mean, Taylor Swift sells a lot of records. It's still shitty. I don't get that.
Yo, oh my god! Devil May Cry 2 million copies? Are you kidding me? 2. Oh, talking about Uncharted is a bad game. Oh my god! You guys are just... What else? What else? Give me another good game. Look. Yeah, but I'm talking about worldwide. I'm talking about worldwide. Not when it's released. worldwide. World mundo. Look at this. Look at this. The new FF7 remake. 3.5 million copies. Uncharted 1 had more than that. 2007, we're talking about 3.5. So why do you think why is it that it's bad? Why? And it's which is sold 28 million copies worldwide. Please, like I'm not understanding this. What? I'm just yo. Oh my god. Look at this. The game sold over 500,000 copies. Bruh, let me see. 7 million copies worldwide. Mass Effect was 7 million worldwide. 7. And Uncharted 1 is 28 million. Freak out of here, that bull crap. Let me see. Gears of War. 1 million! One! You! How? Oh my god! Let me see. World. And I yeah. One million copies worldwide. Oh my god! Oh, because you're not looking right. You're not looking right, my guy. You're not looking right. Oh my god! And you guys saying Uncharted 1 is a bad game? And 28 million players actually played it? Oh my god! I want to start. Uh, Jesus! Oh my god! I and you guys saying? Oh my god! You gotta look harder, my guy. You gotta look harder. Look at this, 28 million copies worldwide. Uncharted 4 is the best-selling installment of the series to date, with over 15 million individual copies sold, making it the best-selling PS4 game of all time. How is it bad? How is it bad? How? Talk to me, somebody. Oh my god! Saying it's a bad saying it's a bad game. Saying the shooting mechanics bad. And look how many players played this game. Oh my goodness. Yes, Uncharted 1 sold 28 million copies, buddy. Yes, it did. Damn. Talking about Uncharted 1 is a better game. Look at this. Uncharted 3 sold 3.8. And Uncharted 4 made more than that. Uncharted 1 made more than 20. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. Oh, have mercy. Have mercy. Oh Lord. Oh Jesus. Jesus. Wait, let me wait till Jazz gets back. I wait till she gets back. I wanna hear. I wanna wait till she gets finished with the phone call. I wanna wait. I talking about Uncharted was a bad game, which it wasn't. First of all, I have a headache right now. I got a headache right now. Jesus.
I just looked at the numbers. Like nowhere on there
Oh
it
my
says
Lord.
Uncharted 1 sold 28 million copies. No. Nowhere on there will you see 28 million for Uncharted 1. Nowhere. Nowhere.
What? That's crazy. Yo, what? Look at that. Oh my god. Why does it keep? Why should it keep on? Why does it keep taking it on to mods only? Am I a mod now? talking about Uncharted 1. Yo. Look screen. Look what screen? What do you mean look screen? Oh, your screen, never mind. Someone's taking me to down to mods only. Oh, I see you, young boy. That was 17? That's good. Someone took me down to mods only because they know I'm telling the truth. I see you, young boy. That's good. Who's taking me down to mods only? No, young boy. Just the game itself. Look, I can even show you. I love this stuff. Yo. Okay, my bad. It's 13 million. I guess I think I did it wrong. There's 13, but that's still more. That's still a lot. Jesus Christ. Look at that. 13. Look at that. 13 mil. Let me see Tomb Raider. Bruh. No game's old success rebooted. Tomb Raider sells 1 million copies. Oh, not bad. Not bad. I see, young boy. But it's still good. Oh shoot! I tried it once, sold over 13 million copies. Yeah, gang boy. That was 28. I guess I did it wrong. 13. Right here, young guy. Yeah. Right here. Oh, I gotta ask permission. You tenant for 1 second. Oh, I try to show it, but I have to ask permission. Yo, bro. You just haters on talking on the best game of best game. Okay, regulars, have you played Uncharted 1? Bruh, never mind. No, sucker. Uncharted was one of the best games back in 2007. Nah, sucker. Google. 13 million copies sold worldwide. Uncharted 1. No. Okay, no. Look, Uncharted 1 is an awesome game. Uncharted 2 is double the awesomeness, and it's well worth playing since you understand more happens second. Also, it's a great game. Oh my god. Yo, this is fun. I like it. I gotta read this. I gotta read this to you. Uncharted is an action adventure game series developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Entertainment for PlayStation console.
Okay, hello, Doc. Oh, how you doing? Oh God, oh my God, you scared the living you scared the daylights out of me, bro. Holy crap! You! I was gonna say, hey, and I said, hey, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay. We're just talking. Okay. Yeah, I was on the phone with my boss. Work related. But we were talking about the Uncharted series. And how Uncharted 1 was just absolutely garbage.
No, it's not. 13 million copies sold worldwide. 13.
So?
How's it shit? How's it trash?
Listen. I can take a shit, put a banana split on it, and I can still sell money. If this girl, what's her name? What's that girl's name? That girl that sells bathwater. She made a shit ton of money, and she was selling bathwater.
The series has been university. Look.
Hello.
Look, having shipped 41 million. Look, 41 million units, making it the one of the best-selling video games franchise of all time. How is that bad? How?
Because and that's the thing. Numbers don't correlate. Numbers does not correlate to
high production values, quality. But if the game
is high production value,
if the game was if the game was bad, back in the day, nobody would buy this game.
Precisely.
But why
Like
does it
I
have
said,
so much great ratings?
let
And
me
you
put it
think
this
it's a
way.
bad
Listen,
game?
listen. If right now, right, let's just say, look at Fortnite, right? Why was Fortnite
Trash game.
Trash game, right? But my God, they had the most
Yes.
players, more players
Yeah,
than
yeah. It was
PUBG.
all.
Had more
All it
players
was
than
all.
so many games. Why is that?
It was all little kids. It was all little
Huh?
kids who were playing that game
Mm-hmm.
because
Exactly.
of kids who were
Kids,
playing that game.
exactly. And not only that, is why? Because we didn't have a lot of battle royale games circulating. And Fortnite did something a little bit more innovative by building, right? And because of that, that catapulted Fortnite to the success that they are now. Well, now it looks like they're kind of struggling. There are other new games that are out that are doing quite well, like Valiant and whatever that game is called. However, that's the same that goes to Uncharted. Back in its day,
Yeah,
not
back in
many
the day.
games. There was not a lot of
No, I
what's the
rather
term?
play.
Cinematic
Uncharted.
interaction games. There weren't
Garbage.
many of them. Right?
But
There weren't many
the
games
thing
that
is,
make you feel like you were in a movie.
the thing is, I'm telling you, the game was back in the day, 2007, was one of the best games. Not now, but back then.
And that's the thing you're not understanding. Like I just said before,
I think
it wasn't a lot.
I'm
Now,
saying,
if let's just say,
the thing I'm saying is, why? I'm saying,
exactly.
why does it have so much good ratings, so much
Regulus is so
copies
right.
sold, so look, why is this saying so much good ratings, so much copies sold? Why do you think it's a bad game if it has that much copies
Thank
sold,
you.
so much
I wish I
good
could do a
ratings?
podcast. Oh, go ahead. You saying what? Before I dissect your point. Well, go ahead.
Why it has such good ratings, so much copies sold, and why do you think it's a bad game? If you think they have so much good ratings, so much copies sold worldwide, 13 million people.
Okay. Are you finished?
No, it's good. It's a good game.
Okay, now let me talk. Now let me explain why.
No.
It could.
All right.
Let me explain why.
Let me see.
There's
Look at that.
several reasons why
Greatest hits,
Uncharted
still the best.
sold that much. And for supposed ratings that you're talking about,
No,
you know
that's a
that could
lie.
be inference, right?
No, it was no.
You
It was
know
20.
that Naughty Dogs could actually pay these interviewers to interview the game. Give them some incentives to actually interview the game and give them high ratings.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what they did.
It does it though.
That is what they did.
Sure,
Gearbox. That is what they do.
I'm pretty sure they do with every game though.
Gearbox, especially, do that a lot with their games for their Borderland games.
Yeah, but the games
They do that a lot.
The games that you like, I'm pretty sure they do the same thing.
Look at Discord. Okay, let me just one second. Where's this?
That's a lie. It's not 13. It's 28 player. Talking about 13. 13 was the game itself.
The whole series.
No,
so I did not even notice that. I did not even notice whole series. It's not game. It's series. That means 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Look.
That basically. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh, okay, Connie. You are brilliant. You are brilliant.
Go to this one.
Brilliant.
Go to
But
this
anyway,
one. Go
okay,
to this one. Go to this one. Yeah. Yeah, player. Look at 28 billion copies. Talking about 17.
this is
13.
Uncharted 4. That's
No.
Uncharted 4. That is not the whole. That is not Uncharted 1. We're talking about Uncharted 1. I already said 4 was a good game. I already said 3 was a good game. I said 2 was a good, like a massive improvement from 1.
Damn. It's a good game. That's it. Back in 2007. Yeah. Making the best selling video game of all time.
Now, let's put it this way. What if 2007 there were so many cinema interactive games? Cinematic, not cinema. Cinematic interactive games. Do you really think Uncharted will sell? If there were so many, would you think Uncharted will sell? No. It would not. It would not. It would not. And the only reason why it would not is because it doesn't do anything differently.
It's a good game.
It doesn't give you there's no unique things to it. It feels like you're doing a QTE. Is this like you're an actor and they give you the script and you're just enacting what you're given? That's it. There's no anything. You can't explore much places. You're going to one plot to one plot. You're doing your stupid shooting galleries. From shooting galleries to platforming. From your platforming into a shitty stealth. And that's it. There is not much deviation from that particular mechanics. The only thing that it did that I could say, like I said before, is them subverting your expectation. Basically, the character interactions. Apart from that, the game is flawed. Now, 2 was an improvement. Was it perfect? No. 3, absolutely. 3, brilliant masterpiece. I will say that from the end of time. 3 was great. 4 was great.
I still think
1
it was a good.
Was awful. Thing. 1 feels like a prototype for 2. I mean, well, it makes sense. It is the first in the series. That's a stupid comment that I just made right there. But the reality is, it was just awful. It's awful.
It was not awful. It's not. It's a good game.
That's
back in 2007. Back in 2007. Not now. Talking about back in the day. It does matter. Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Right now, look at this. Witcher 3, right? Which is regarded as a masterpiece, one of the best games ever. Right? It's 2015, right? If there are more games like The Witcher right now, and it does better than The Witcher, right? Will people come back and talk about The Witcher? Yeah, they will, of course. They will. Why is that? Because the story, the plot, all the mechanics, right? The mechanics was good, but it's way more better than games of its genre.
So you're telling me 1 million copies sold of The Witcher? That's Uncharted has more than that.
And those are two specific genres. So that you cannot compare apples to oranges at all. That wouldn't make any sense. To be honest.
Nah.
But
all right.
With
I'm
Witcher
just saying.
1,
I'm just saying.
Again.
I'm just saying that part 1 was a good game, in my opinion.
Hey,
No one's not gonna chase me
fine.
for that game because it was really good. Because it's really good. No one's not gonna stop and be
and that's what I say. And that's what I say.
I think it was a good
You may like it,
game
right?
back
And
in
that's fine.
2007.
I shit you not.
I
First
feel
time
like
I played the demo.
The thing is that I feel like I'm like the only one that likes the game out of like everybody in this chat here.
I think Connie likes it. Oh, got another phone call. Be right back.
End the call, cause I need you right here. Damn. Yeah. I like this.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Oh, I'm back.
Hi. What's going on, man?
I'm back.
Hello.
We just arguing here. Okay. Have you played Uncharted? Uncharted 1.
No.
Okay, what do you think of that game? Have you seen gameplays?
Uncharted. I've seen. Yeah, it's kind of similar to like Tomb Raider.
Okay, but what do you think of Uncharted 1? You think it's a good game?
For a classic, I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you get it for a decent price.
Okay. If you were playing it back in 2007, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is a good game?
Yeah, it's a good game. Of course, all Uncharted games are good.
You see? Thank you. Thank
all Uncharted
you.
Games. Because it's also similar.
You.
It's similar to Tomb Raider.
Thank you, man. These people,
but it has it has more action in it though. Hello?
I don't know what the heck happened. These people said.
Wait a minute. These people said what?
Uncharted 1. It was the worst game.
Come on, man.
Worst game.
Hell no. If they played Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 1, yeah, that was a bad game.
Oh my god.
I'll be back.
All right, man. Thank you. I have one save you here. I got one dude. Someone put me to mods only. Talking about someone with two mods only.
All right, I'm back.
All right, welcome back. So, look, okay. Do you think Uncharted 1 was the best games in the series?
I mean, it was a decent game. I wouldn't say it was a bad game.
Because these people saying that Uncharted 1 is the worst game in the series.
No, it's not.
What do you think of that?
I am back.
I think
Hello?
you think you.
Hello?
It's a classic, man.
Thank you.
First off,
you.
No, wait, hold on. One is his opinion. That's one. Two.
But that's an opinion.
He said he did not even play the game. So he can't really.
I watch people play it. I watch people play it.
Yeah, you watch, and that's fine. But you didn't really experience it for yourself, so you don't really know exactly what issues the game, have throughout its process when you was playing it. No?
Man, you guys are like arguing over a game, really?
Precisely. I'm someone who likes to debate.
I think Uncharted 1 it was a really great game. Back in 2007.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's your personal opinion, you know.
Yeah, my personal opinion.
But it was a decent game. It's a decent game, but it's. I mean, like I'm more of a Tomb Raider type player.
And that's fine. I'm not saying. Anyway, I'm not going to even put any difference between the two of them. They are different. They have their own,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing I will say, and what I was trying to say is, if Uncharted, because he's saying, "Oh my God, it's super great," right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying if there are many games that does the same, right? Of its same genre, right? Because Uncharted is basically a cinematic interaction type game. It's basically you're in a movie, an action movie, and you're enacting a character, right? If there are many games like that, will it stick out?
Let's see. What, like Uncharted you're talking about?
Uncharted 1. I'm not talking about 2. I'm talking about 1 specifically.
I mean, there is one game that's like that. Like it's like like you're in a cinematic, then you jump into the game. Mm-hmm. There's okay, let's start off with what's that fucking game called? Crisis, that's one of them. If you play that, another one is Watchdog does that. It's like it's a cinematic. Then you jump right into the game with the cinematic. So that's another one. I mean, there's quite a few games out like that.
But Watchdog came out, I think, 2012 or 13? Uncharted came out 2007.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of another. Give me a second. There is another one. I'm trying to find it. I have it in my Just Cause 2.
Let me see.
That's another one.
So there's a lot other games as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few
came out.
Not just part 1.
Just Cause, I think, Just Cause 2. I believe that one came out in 2009 or 10.
But there's quite a few games that are similar to that, you know, where it's like you're in a cinematic, and then you jump directly into the game after the cinematic. I mean, it's not like it's pre-cache, you know. Like some games are pre-cached, like the cinematic plays, then it loads up to the game. There's games that are just in the cutscene and it goes directly into the game because it's part of the cutscene. So I mean, there's quite a few games out like that. But like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean,
precisely. But
exactly.
My thing is,
let's just leave it like that, you know.
But the thing about him is, he make it seem like the game is so perfect that it has no issues.
Every game got issues and bugs.
Yeah, I know. Again, exactly. It has issues, but I'm saying that is also a really good game back into the.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the great games back then. You know.
Oh my god.
That's one. But there is quite a few games that are better than that. You know.
I'm just okay. It has issues, but I feel like it's a good game in my opinion.
Yeah. So anyway, what's new with y'all?
Oh no, nothing at all.
We're just talking about. Yeah, just talking. Now we're just chatting now, not streaming.
Yeah, it's more just having a discussion, and just listening to him say this game was great.
It was a good game. It's beyond me too.
And the thing is.
But even Crisis had its issues. It was so poorly optimized. Yeah. It was poorly optimized where like you can have the best computer back then that was supposed to be meant to play with that game and still took a shit on it. So every game has its issues.
Yes. Every game
Crisis was just
that's true.
We called that game the computer killer, man.
That game, the Uncharted franchise is one of the best.
Oh yeah, that's why they're still going. I mean, like I said, some people are a fan of that game. Some people are a fan of Crisis. Some people are a fan of Grand Theft Auto. I mean, everybody's a fan of something, you know. But it's about the gameplay. It's not about graphics or how good is it by gameplay.
And that is where I decide to dissect the game.
That's what people would hate. I hate that, man. Oh, PC's better, or console's better, or handheld's better. No, it's not about the consoles. It's about the games.
Yes.
Like for Nintendo, my favorite Nintendo game is going to be always Zelda. Always. When it comes to Sony, my favorite game with Sony was Crash Bandicoot and Papa. What was it called? Papa. Damn, what was that game called? A music game. Papa something. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a music game. That was pretty cool.
Okay, what do you think?
Proper the Rapper. That's what it was.
Never heard of that.
Proper the Rapper, man.
Never heard of that one.
Proper
the Rapper was like the fucking epic musical game ever back then, man.
Yeah, chop, kick, block.
Yeah, you know it. Bro, Proper the Rapper was that fucking game to play. When you wanted to jam and play a game at the same time, that game did all that, man.
I'm having so much.
Yeah, it was the best. Go look at it on YouTube.
Yeah, you guys gotta watch it on YouTube, man. Wait a minute, what the fuck?
Sorry, he's my hair.
No, not you. So there's a new NPC called a trader, right?
Oh my god!
And at nighttime, he puts himself invisible. He has the power to turn invisible. And during the daytime, he comes uninvisible. But this motherfucker spawned right in front of me. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I turn around and he's invisible. I'm like, oh my god, you fucking asshole. Scared the fuck out of me. But yeah, Proper the Rapper, man, that was that game back in the day.
I still think it's good. It's a good game. Just saying, it's a good game.
What they need to do is bring that game back, though, man, to make a remake or something. Because I would definitely buy that shit in a heartbeat.
I think they remade it. I think or re-released it. I'm not sure.
They probably did on a PS2, probably maybe, but I haven't seen nothing.
I think they did it for like I think they did for the PSN like recently, a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago.
I gotta take a look, man. That game was the shit back in the day.
Sekiro.
Is it working?
You guys literally gotta go watch YouTube on it and check it out, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely
songs,
will.
great songs.
Proper the Rapper, man. Bring back fucking memories, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking something.
Top kick blog.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, if you guys stream, I highly recommend XSplit. I'm being dead ass right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm using XSplit. That's what I use.
I use XSplit.
Yeah, I always. Everybody saying OBS is fucking great. No, OBS is shitty as fuck. Oh, what? Every time I use XSplit, it lags. That's because your computer's probably trash. I love XSplit, and it's so fucking easy. I just wish it wasn't. I'm using a free version, but I wish the pro version wasn't so fucking expensive.
Yeah, I got the pro version.
Oh, I don't got the money for that shit.
Yeah, I should pay like $212.
Yeah,
jeez.
But it's well worth it though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah.
I always use my green screen and all, like when I'm live streaming.
But for me, since I'm broke, I just use OBS Studio, something good,
Why don't you just get the free version of XSplit?
That's what I meant. That's what I told him the last time.
You should get that. Trust me.
That.
It's way better. The only thing bad about the free version?
Do you think he's gonna handle
the watermark? Doesn't matter. If you can stream on OBS, you can definitely stream on XSplit.
Oh really?
And it's less taxing on your computer. It uses only your GPU.
All right, let me see. I got you. Let me see. I'll download it now to make you happy, hon, okay?
Only downside to the free version is sometimes you get the watermark here.
XSplit. Cause I ain't paying for $212 for that. Free version.
So that's where their fucking camels went, or the fucking llamas.
That's live streaming
software. You guys hear like construction in my background?
No.
I've tried to use as much noise
not at all.
mitigation as possible. Okay, cool.
I don't know why they're still working at this time. You got some Legos?
Say what?
I hear Lego blocks. Somebody got Legos or something?
I'm playing Minecraft. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, man, I hear it, man. He's just beating blocks.
Alright. Because I ain't freaking wasting $12 just to freaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so expensive for the software, but then it's so
it's worth it. But at the same time,
it depends
that's
on
why
what you want to do.
I get it.
Yeah, that's why I use the free version.
All of it. You can do basically everything on the free version.
Exactly. The only difference is with the pro. Hold on. With the pro version, you get more scenes. And you also could change like certain things, like the amount of time that people can see what you're doing. So, for example, if you break a block or something, right, it'll take them like 20 seconds to see it, 30 seconds, whatever you set it to. So that's the only difference, man. Other than that, man, everything's still the same. I enjoy it though.
I'll check it out.
Oh man, I just also updated my.
The only thing I'm gonna just say to conclude everything, just everything we say, we just having fun.
Yeah.
This is not,
I'm not Uncharted sucks. I'm not having fun.
Now I'm gonna have to conclude now.
Yo, Matt. Matt,
Yeah.
I really recommend that you try Uncharted 1, right?
No.
You play. It's very short. I finished the game in like 5 hours. And I want you to. I just want to hear your overall opinion of it.
No.
Now, Uncharted 1, was that only for the PS2? Was it?
3. It was only 3.
PS3?
Alright, since Doobie, you said it, I'm gonna continue now. I'm gonna continue because you said that. I'm talking about one of the best games.
It was awful. 2 was good.
Not awful.
It was an improvement. It was a much improvement.
No, it
3 was great. 3, I love 3. I would recommend to get 3.
3
was
how
good it is. And 4.
As well,
you guys crack me up, man, for real.
As well as
y'all literally crack me up.
As well as 1. As well as 1 was also good.
1.
Y'all hear that?
Oh, God.
Yes, was also good in 2007.
Okay.
Watch Uncharted 1, the best game of the year.
Uncharted 1?
Oh.
Best game of the year? I mean, that's like I said before.
It was Uncharted.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. When they say that it's the game of the year, that's their opinion, and that's what they make it. But then again, some people don't feel that way.
So,
yeah,
so you're saying, okay, so you're saying like, so you're saying Sekiro 2019. So you think it's people's
awesome
opinion?
Game, awesome.
Okay, do you think it's people?
Yeah.
Okay, no, do you think?
And that's subject to your opinion.
No. Do you think it's an opinion? Do you think it's someone's opinion because it won 2019 Game of the Year?
Yeah, everybody has their opinion.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like the same thing on that.
Okay, then just leave it like that. No point in arguing over that, man.
I still think Uncharted one of the best games.
Yeah,
well,
that's your opinion of
everyone's opinion.
Shit, I fucked up.
Hype, in my factual opinion, Uncharted.
Oh, in my factual opinion, Part 1 was a good game. That's it. GG in the chat.
I mean, if you want to.
If I had to choose between playing Uncharted 1 and getting a sword in my chest,
no, we're not done yet.
Sword in my chest.
Oh my god. It's not that serious, buddy.
This would take all night. I don't care. I gotta work tomorrow.
Bro, relax, man. It's not that serious.
It's funny. It's really funny, though.
I love when people rage on video games. It's so funny.
Because it's like,
it ticks you off, don't it?
I freaking love that.
It makes me angry.
I would sacrifice my family before I play Uncharted 1 again.
I was sad when people like think. I was like, yo, it's a good game. Why, like, so much good ratings, so much copies sold? Why is it think it's a bad game?
I'll say this. I'll say this.
I'm not understanding.
I'll say this though. I'll say this.
If you think it has bad mechanics, why do you think it has
what do you think about
why do you think it has good copies sold? If you think it has bad mechanics, if you think it has bad
what about Transformers?
How much?
The Transformers movies suck, but they sold a lot.
What?
Y'all
really trying to piss him off? Like seriously?
That's true though.
Y'all literally trying to piss him off.
How do you think that much people bought that game? Why?
Because it was new in its inception.
But
it was new at that time. Not many games.
Okay. Listen, that's enough. That's enough.
Do you think people look for mechanics? No.
Relax. It's just a game, man. It's just a game. Y'all arguing over something silly.
Why did a lot of people smoke crack?
People
smoke crack.
People look for mechanics. People look at how the game is, how the game is, how the story is. People don't look at that. Do you think a lot of people look at mechanics of the game? No, they don't. So that's why it has so much high ratings of the game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because I think it's a good game.
I'll let it be.
Thank you. I'll let it be as well.
What happened? What'd you say, Sally? Uncharted 1 sucks? I agree.
Okay, let's start. I'll talk about it.
Oh my god, you guys
I'll keep going if I want.
I think I'm gonna hop out. I don't want to have no part of this.
No, I'm not gonna even say anything. All I was saying is...
I'm done too.
That's enough. Hey, you know what? Hey, Metro, you need to stop instigating too, man.
I'm not instigating, man.
I'll keep going.
I didn't say Uncharted 1 sucks forever.
7, 8, 9.
I'll keep going.
I didn't say Uncharted sucks forever. That wasn't me.
I don't care if it takes all night. I'll keep going if I want to. I'm not a quitter. I don't quit.
That's fine.
I wish you quit Uncharted 1 though.
Yo, you're wrong.
I told you he's the instigator.
No, it's a good game.
Listen, chill. He was playing around and he's instigating you.
I don't care if no one plays around or not. It's a good game. Damn.
Oh shit.
It's real though. It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know. I never see anyone as a fanatic of that game.
Even in Francis Drake's notebook in the game, it says Uncharted is a bad game.
One of the best childhood games. I wouldn't want nobody to ruin it. My childhood.
I heard in the study somewhere that if you play Uncharted, you had a bad childhood.
No!
He's messing with you. Listen, yo, stop instigating him, man. He won't stop. He's just instigating.
I keep going all night. I don't care.
Wow.
Damn.
That's hilarious.
My god.
This is hilarious.
I'm just saying, it's true. It's true. Like, really, I saw it say it said most players have played Uncharted 1.
No. People don't look at the mechanics of the game. People, it's just enjoy it. It's how it is.
Wait, what?
I enjoyed it when I turned it off.
No, it's good.
Wait. Did you just say that mechanics don't matter? You just play just enjoyment?
I said people don't look at the mechanics. They don't look at that stuff. They don't. That's what I said.
The future of our millennials, if that's the case.
Do you think back into look?
You guys are silly as hell, man.
Do you think back in 2007? Do you think they were looking for the mechanics of the game?
I think they were looking for a better game.
Back in 2007, they didn't.
I'll leave it as that. But the fact that you said that point alone tells me a lot.
You just chop your pinky off.
That game has so much good rating, so much copies sold.
Hype, if you were a Yakuza, they asked you to chop your pinky off, you dishonor them.
If you think the mechanics that bad, they would. If you think the mechanics were that bad, if you think the mechanics were that bad, the game wouldn't have sold as much as it is today.
Oh my god. This is
hilarious. No.
This is funny as hell. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I'll slit my wrist by playing Uncharted 1 again.
Good end of the story.
He's just messing with you, man. You're like...
I put a grocery bag over my mom's head if I play Uncharted 1 again.
Okay. He's instigating
that
you, man.
That ain't right. I'll put a plastic bag over his head, yo.
Yeah, you're gonna bed.
That is deep.
No, they're about to go to bed now.
I'll club my grandma if I play Uncharted 1 again.
No, I feel like it's a good game. Or it's done. I downloaded X.
There's this. Yeah, Connie, you ready to stream?
I'll vote for Trump if I play Uncharted 1 again.
No, Connie's ready to stream. I don't mind talking and watch the stream at the same time.
So go ahead and stream.
No, we could do that, but
yeah, I'll give you my support.
We ain't finished.
I will. Are you or not? I need to know.
I'll go stream Uncharted 1.
Keep going if I want to.
Yo, Doobie, no offense, no one can pay me to stream that game though. I'll be honest. You can give me thousands of dollars, I won't play that shit.
I agree.
I'm just gonna be honest though.
For real, like definitely.
Oh my god. Somebody read Regular's comment. That is exactly.
And see, that's kind of how Metal Gear Solid 2 was. There's a lot of cinematics, but it had great mechanics, but a lot of cinematics. Still a great game, though, in my opinion.
It had its faults, but it was a good game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was a good game. I like Metal Gear Solid 2. Had its faults, and I'm not gonna say it does not. A lot of people's like, oh my god, the game is just shit. It's just so flawed. I'm like,
There's
okay,
always faults
that's
in
fine.
the game. Always.
That's almost every game. Every game has its own faults. But
Like,
there are
like
some
Death Stranding.
that are egregious than others. That is my point. Oh, Connie, are you streaming or? I'm lost right now. I'm stuck in limbo right now. Whether if you're streaming, whether if I should continue, and then whether you're gonna, I don't know. Talk to me. What's up?
The game's mechanics are the rules, and the player in the game respond to the player's moves or actions.
He's still on that?
Exactly how
the game
guided us to a bad game.
The people who play it. How do you think it's a bad mechanic game?
Hype. They're teasing you.
Game mechanics are methods
Hype
against the developer for
hype. They're teasing you. Chill out.
Thus, providing gameplay. Most video games feature mechanics are technically complex. In terms of making that game do all that involved, even in relatively simple designs.
I am still lost.
I'm gonna be honest though, like Uncharted 1 did have some complex mechanics. I mean, the way you move the analog stick to move. Man, great mechanics.
No.
He's teasing you, man. No, leave him alone, bro.
Keep going.
No, he's teasing you. That's enough, man.
I'll keep going.
Oh my god.
I don't care.
I didn't press enter. My bad. There you go.
I don't care.
So sensitive, man.
No one's not gonna ruin. No one's
so sensitive.
No one is going to ruin.
Matt, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what is it?
Let me ask you one question.
No one's gonna.
When you play a game, right?
Gonna ruin my 2007 days.
Do you just play for mere enjoyment, or do you pay attention to like what you're actually doing in the game, which is the mechanics?
Hold on, from it. What?
I'm saying, do you play a game for mere enjoyment? When he gets back, I'll ask him because I am still stuck by what he said. That mechanics really don't matter. It's just you play a game for enjoyment.
Sorry.
No, look, I'm not saying that mechanic. You're saying that shooting mechanics are bad. How is it bad?
They are terrible.
No, it's not.
Wait.
It's like a toddler shooting a gun.
Oh, yeah, because it was made back in 2007. Difference between a 2020 game versus a 2007 game. They're two different.
Did you play Gears of War 1? Did you play
Gears
of War 1?
Yes, I played Gears of War 1.
My thing is, what is wrong with 2007? You make it seem like 2007 is like archaic or something.
Nobody is going to ruin my 2007
Look, Castlevania Symphony of the Night was released in like what?
Exactly,
Nah.
Gears of War 1 was leaked. will like jump over.
It's a good game. Damn. I feel like it's a good game. That's it.
And I feel like it's shitty.
No.
Shitty game. Shitty
I know. Exactly. Oh my god, Regulus. Made a good point.
What?
Gears of War 1. So many fanboys with PS3.
You guys are still arguing over video games. That's enough, for real.
I played Gears of War 1. Trust me. I played.
No, I wanted to ask you, Matt, this question. Do you ever play a game? When you play games, do you ever focus on the core mechanics, like what you are doing in the game? Or you
want my opinion with that? I do all of it. I do have it. I'm all about physics and gameplay.
Thank you. You said that most people don't play games like that. They just play for enjoyment.
Yeah, but you saying that mechanics are bad in the game, which is not. Yeah, if you said it.
I'm gonna head out, and you guys could argue all y'all want.
You said that game has bad mechanics. If you think that game has bad mechanics, why does it have so much good ratings? How? Talk to me on that point there.
I'll leave it as that because
if you
game
think
reviewers don't speak for everybody.
If you think that game has bad mechanics, why has it sold so much copy? Talk to me.
I already explained that.
Look, Hun, please talk to me.
One is the easy accessible game.
Why? Because you said it has bad mechanics. You said it's had bad mechanics. If you think it has bad mechanics, why does it have so much good ratings? So much copies sold. It has one of the best PlayStation exclusive game. Why do you think? Why? And you said it has bad mechanics. I'm not understanding.
I'll leave it. I have already explained that like
because I'm not
thousands of times.
You could say 5,001
You're not getting it because of the fanboyism that you're exhibiting right now.
It's not the fan.
That's just the reason.
It's not the fanboy. I'm saying the game that has good mechanics. Really good game.
Hi, let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying I'm not. Proceed.
Do you like bad games or do you love bad games?
I love good games. Which Uncharted 1.
No, you don't, because you like Uncharted 1. You're lying. Stop lying.
Okay, Kanye's gonna be streaming, so if you guys come, be my guest. I'm gonna be watching.
But you will be here.
But this is hilarious. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Anyway, let's see what Connie's gonna be streaming.
Yeah,
he's gonna be streaming Persona 5. I would love him to explain this game to me, because I'm still kind of lost in that game, but I like what I'm seeing, but I don't understand it as much, so hopefully he can explain in detail, like, what it's supposed to, because it looks like you're investigating stuff. So I hope he can explain more.
It's
very unique.
Yeah,
it's very fun. This is fun.
Well, the game looks freaking garbage to me. It's like cutscenes after cutscenes after cutscenes. There's no action in that game.
It's a lot of story building. Like Uncharted 1.
What's up with the freaking action? There's no action in that game.
There's a lot of action.
All you do is just talk.
There's a lot of action.
There's no action. I'm not seeing no action.
There's plenty of action.
You came at the wrong times.
content after content talking. There's no action in that game.
Right, unlike Uncharted 1, there's a story behind
if you see a game
Persona 5.
that's talking and talking all the time, that's
yeah, Persona 5. Talk to me. I would love for your explanation of it. Like, what is it entail? Like, I don't understand in detail what it is about.
Like when I play,
but it's a pretty good game.
Like,
it's unique.
It's like you can go in like inside people.
Yeah, but it's. I feel like
it's like inside of them.
I feel like that game is a boring game.
And if I do get back, then I'll do FF7.
I feel like I feel like the game is a boring game. In my opinion, I feel like
that's fine.
That's fine. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
All you do. Look, I've watched it. All you do is chat, make decisions, chat, make decisions.
Once Connie gets on, then I will log off.
There's no action.
But let me put.
Look, people want action. People want
stream.
Han, really? I'm talking.
1 second.
People.
About to stream.
Man, how you Uncharted 1 is warping your mind right now. Going crazy.
Log in and back again.
Dude, the raises hit 30, the bridge is at 24, and the omens hit 117.
So dumb, I have to log in.
Omens hit 117. No. And raise and the breach is also hit 1.
Even that. Oh.
Nice.
Omens
one shot.
May I proceed?
Oh, nice try.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank
you to everyone who follows. We've had like literally, I don't even know how many followers we've had.
I feel like it's a boring game because all you
literally had over 400 followers.
I
can't thank everybody enough. Yeah, we've had literally 400 followers.
And I'm not.
If he was there from day one,
thank you so much for the follows. Thanks for joining the Discord. Follow us on our socials. ArmyWP Esports. Thanks for watching the stream. As a team, we appreciate this a ton. Thank you so much.
You're looking at the wrong point.
People want action. People want action. People don't want chit chats and chit chats after chit chats all the time.
People want.
Don't get me wrong. That game looks pretty cool. I can't even. From the music's nice. The game looks pretty cool, and the game reminds me of an anime. Pretty cool, but I feel like it's just boring. It's just no action. I'm not seeing no action.
For one, you probably don't understand the story. Plus, like, there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of build up.
Yeah, but
no.
It's where the action at.
I can say the same thing for Uncharted 1. What action is?
It's a story, an action. I don't get it. I've never played Persona 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I haven't either. I just played some of 5. That's it. But it's a story there and a lot of action.
Persona 1, 2, 3.
You don't have to. You can just play 5. They're different games, different armor, different settings.
I don't know. For me, I don't really care about Persona. Look, I don't really care about Persona 5. It's not for me, to be honest. Not for me.
That's fine. That's fine.
I say you need to see more of it before you make your judgment. You just seen like talking and you haven't seen the game.
Just not.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's going at it. Yeah, no.
I
don't know what he's talking about.
Like top 10
wait to
right
see if
now.
I hear him first, but
I'm level 10. People here ruining my 2007 days. That the game that I've loved and enjoyed back in the day. That's why I'm angry.
I mean, I'm just playing the game.
Oh, okay, that's for you. That's for you, but for me,
it's for everybody.
It's like I get angry. Okay, what if you do something and then someone messes up like this? That's something. Would you get upset?
Maybe they're waiting till my mid.
That did like feel like that game was so amazing, but then all game some person there ruins it.
Alright.
It might go beating now with the slows here.
Going
Be
to
careful.
put Connie's stream at my
But you're thinking, right? You're staying here, right?
Beep.
We ain't done.
Yeah, I'll be here, but I'm gonna be watching.
I ain't done yet.
Oh, it's mid. Two mid.
Again, like I said,
I'm watching.
Also,
don't take the fight. You don't have to.
For me.
Where can I put it? Make this thing easier. Guys, on a computer.
What you got? Give me your stuff.
Hold on.
Run their pockets. Run their pockets.
What you got?
The thing I'm just saying, dude, is we are just trying to have fun. Everybody has different opinions on stuff.
I tried to have fun, so I played Uncharted 1.
See, now I'm gonna have to keep going now. Now I'm gonna have to keep going.
That is hilarious, bro.
I want it to stop, but now I'm gonna keep going.
Is this bronze gameplay? Serious question.
I'll keep going.
It is not.
If I want to.
But we are still learning. Be quick.
The only thing I'm just saying conclude is that we are just gonna have fun to discuss like how we did with Superman and Goku earlier. That was fun.
Superman.
You say you saw one garage?
No, Goku all day.
I saw one A. It was Shadow Guy.
Goku can destroy anybody like
I don't see anything mid.
I hope he destroys Uncharted.
No. Look, I'll show you who can.
We don't have any ranks yet. We're just doing 10-mans right now.
I'm gonna show you a picture.
We tried to do ranked earlier, but
boom,
we
right there.
We have too much of a displacement in our unrated MMR.
Oh no! Look, you know who else could beat Superman? I gotcha. No, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yo, one came from CT, bro.
You don't even know what anime that's from. The strongest, right there.
Unlucky. There's two people that.
You don't even know who character is that. You don't even know the strongest.
Yeah, Todd, you gotta shoot that.
And I know you said it's from
Todd, when that little thing comes out.
Hunter.
You know how freaking strong she is. Oh.
Superman.
Okay, the thing I'm gonna say, like, this is all jokes.
Classic Effect, we hope to. Yeah, we're gonna try.
I have no clue.
They are setting up a program right now, so hopefully we're gonna do something in the future.
I don't see Connie's stream.
I'm just trying to speak, and Han, you are always. May I proceed, Han, please?
Oh, go ahead. My God.
Okay. The other thing I'm just trying to say, we are trying to have fun. Everyone's just messing around. Everybody has different opinions on stuff. Nobody's perfect.
They're serious about this Uncharted 1 stuff.
Well, I'm this serious about it too. I can go all night.
The only real thing that makes me laugh is that
only thing
he judged the game based on cell numbers and his enjoyment. That's the funny part.
You can't go by like just cell numbers. Like I said, you Transformers throw a lot of money, like Twilight, but they suck.
You said that game has bad mechanics. But if you think how bad, but why has it so much ratings? Why?
Again,
look.
How many times I need to explain that?
Say it again.
There's not many games at that time of its genre.
Yeah, but they've made a lot of games.
They Last of Us.
They made.
You know. If there are so many games, right? Let's just say
they made
a lot of different forms of like Tomb Raider. Different.
The why has this sold so much? If you think it has bad mechanics, why has it sold so much?
Look at this. Look at this, for example.
I
shitted on. Listen. I shitted on Star Wars. What do you call it? The Jedi, right? About its mechanics. Is the game being sold well? Yes. Were there faults with the game? Absolutely. When I was talking about the platforming and the combat.
Why is it has so much if you think it has bad mechanics though?
Why would it sell so much if it has bad mechanics?
If you think it has bad mechanics.
There are some people who will just buy anything because of a title. Like for example, music.
But why
Look
would
at
they
music,
buy it?
for example.
Okay. No, why? But why
you
would
could
they
have,
buy? But why would they buy the game for? What is the reason why they would buy that game?
because
think of 2007.
There are not many games of that specific genre at that time.
Yes, there
now
are.
let's just say
Yes, Tomb Raider.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Tomb Raider.
I'll
what
keep
happened
looking.
with Tomb Raider? There are not much games that were in this genre at that time. Similar to like Fortnite, the Battle Royale was what PUBG, DayZ, right?
Okay, but then
what else? Minecraft was the first Battle Royale of its genre because it took it from the Hunger Games. If you go do your research on that, and then other games started to try and replicate what Fortnite was doing. But why did what's it called? Fortnite did well because it added a feature that is not prevalent in any other game, and that is why that game is now perceived as ubiquitous. That's now everywhere. Everyone playing that shit.
Even though it's
because that's the thing, and it sucks. But people will play it because one, it appeals to kids. And of course, kids really does help the market because if parents probably won't buy that shit, the kids want it.
Yeah, I can't tell you
how
many times I've been around kids, and they're like, "Mom, can I get a skin? Can you buy me a skin on Fortnite?"
Exactly.
Dad, can you buy me?
Exactly.
Because they enjoy it.
And then you have Uncharted, right? Where there's not many games that does exactly what Uncharted does back then. So of course, it's gonna sell. Absolutely.
Yeah, but then if you think it had bad mechanics, what do you think they wouldn't buy it? Like they would, oh, this game's bad mechanics, don't buy it.
There are a lot of games where you can go online that it has bad mechanics and reviewers will say don't buy it, right? Because of course there are many games of this genre that they will recommend you to go and play.
I'm still not getting why. I don't know.
Well, what's his name? Minecraft was the first battle royale. It was the first one.
Yes.
You can go online and check. It stemmed from the Hunger Games.
Minecraft, yes.
Go read on it.
Minecraft was the first. Minecraft came out back in 2000.
What's the first one?
No, Minecraft.
I'm talking about the battle royale mechanic. I'm not talking about the game of Fortnite. Minecraft itself. I'm talking about the battle royale, where it stemmed from, where they got the idea from, was from the Hunger Games. And Minecraft took it. I guess people who saw the Hunger Games saw it, probably emulated, and it was successful. And then other game companies saw that shit, and then they started. Of course, they see money, here they come. Start making their own. Everyone making their own shit. And now it saturate the market. And almost all of them all look the same too. That's what is so annoying about it. They all look the same too. Until Fortnite came in and it added a building mechanic. And then, guess what? It became one of the most played games ever. And I hate it. I hate the fact that it actually sold that well, but that's the reality. It's new within that genre. Now, if Uncharted was also made and it have so many games like that in its genre,
okay. What if?
Do you think it would sell well?
What if Uncharted? What if Uncharted would have made this era, first Uncharted? What do you think? What happens? Same story, everything. Do you think a lot of people will buy it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What if Uncharted? What if Uncharted 1 came out, like, for example, 2017? Do you think a lot of people will buy that game?
No.
Why?
And here's why. Because by that time, oh, depending on the question, if they had many games of that genre, if there are many games of that genre, then hell no, it will not sell.
Yeah, but
it will not sell because
why? Why
because,
is that? Why is that?
Because people will compare that shit to Tomb Raider, and people will think it's a disrespect because Tomb Raider was the first one that came out.
Okay, what if? Okay, for example, what if first Tomb Raider came out 2017 as well was Uncharted? What game do you think would get the most?
Tomb Raider.
Why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Better.
Why? Because the character is iconic and has been there through several years of its own iterations.
It's a better made character, in my opinion.
That
better
too,
made character.
But the thing is, Tomb Raider is iconic. Am I the biggest fan of Tomb Raider? Of first, the one that came out? No. I still think the Tomb Raider that came out, the one that you was playing, Miguel, I don't even think that game was that good either. Rise, I don't even think that one was either good. Now, the Shadow, I didn't play, so I ain't gonna even talk about it. I didn't even finish playing that game. I didn't even try to attempt playing that game. I ain't gonna
think
talk
the new
about
Tomb
it.
Raider, I think what was it? The first Tomb Raider. I think it was really good. I finished it. I'm still playing Rise of Tomb Raider, but it's not as good as the first one so far. But it's still good. Like
I didn't really fully play the Rise, so I'm not gonna say as much. I played it. I understand how the game is supposed to be played. I played it for several hours. I didn't like what I seen, but hey, I leave it as it is because I didn't finish it, so I'm just going to leave it. I understand the core mechanics of it, and I felt it was flawed. But who knows? Who knows? It might get better. I don't know. I'm praying, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I know I took like a week off from playing. I just started playing it last night again after finishing RE2. You know, so. I gotta play Death Stranding again too because I hadn't played that in like a month. Jesus.
I'm still looking. I'm still seeing it up. I know it's up. Okay, Connie's stream is up. Where can I put that? I already put it on my Discord, but yeah, I'm about to head out. Thank you all for coming. I will be back later for Final Fantasy 7 or
we're continue on this.
All right.
I'll see you, darling.